This session is brought to you by the Influence Marketing Platform. The Influence Marketing Platform is so intuitive, you'll swear it was built just for you. So go ahead and learn more about the automation software and get a demo at emarketingplatform.com.
So let us know a little bit about yourselves and why you guys are qualified for this.
I'm Cam.
And I'm Maya.
And we're Kamaya, and I usually do all the talking, so he'll chime in if you'd like him to. He's a backup singer. And we do a lot of music videos, so watch us on YouTube. We've been in email for a really long time. I guess not a really long time. Like 7 years, 5 years or something like that. We worked at 2 different agencies together, and then we started our own thing where we do email dev full time now on our own. We also have creative sides that play really huge roles in our lives. So Maya games and streams a lot. We draw, we do murals, we make videos, and then we do like, it used to be called Table TRTD, but we call it Kamaya Sends now. And we just like to code fun emails. We like to code not fun emails. We like to code all the emails. It's just something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. No, he's good.
What'd she say?
We're good. And that guy's cool. This guy's cool. This guy's really cool.
Here we go. So you guys made this email. Thanks for being so extra. This is why you're not in the competition. You cheat a lot. So tell us what you did with this email and what the decisions I guess you guys made and why you did this.
Yeah, no problem. So we were inspired by a talk. She did the 10 trends in email, so we did one email with all the trends, but we did her 2 extras and then the one that got the trend, the wood paneling that got canceled last year. So, so we did all 10 of them. We asked her to validate it, but she didn't really validate that all 10 were officially in there. We couldn't really figure out the columns that are misaligned, so we tried.
There's a lot of different widths there.
Yeah, we did the widths.
I think it counts.
Just try to have fun. Hopefully,
Can you put it on the CTA or the S?
yeah, there you go.
Something
It's
bad?
good.
No.
Something good's gonna happen. There you go.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for, we took some time this morning and we went through all the submissions. I think we liked them all, really.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
We were really impressed. You guys did a fantastic job this weekend, and I had really never made an email with the team, so I'm also impressed with that you guys worked together and came out with some great stuff. So this is our top 3 that we picked.
It's very, very hard.
Very hard.
It was really, what I really liked is so many people participated. I couldn't believe that there were like 13 or 14 submissions,
Yeah.
and then they were all teams of people. So that is, such a great group of people to all collaborate and work together to make stuff. So that's super cool in our opinion.
Okay, we will start with the third before. This is third before. Seems like a pretty basic email. Do you have any thoughts on this?
It's clean, right? The clean before. Yeah, we're gonna be nice. You're gonna have to click that thing to see any of the information. That's gonna always be. No. But yeah, at least it's in there. It's clean.
Yeah, I think this one could be a little bit better.
Thank you.
So let's see what this team did for this one.
So we really like this one. We thought it was really friendly, inclusive, inviting.
And it's really our style. Like it's playful and fun and unique. type of stuff that we like to do.
And it's really clever.
Unique idea and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I think why we didn't choose this one as number one is one thought that we had when we were reading this is initially that having something like right here under you're invited, telling people to scroll would give them a lot of guidance and kind of bring them down the rest of the email.
And also probably some branding up top.
Yeah, kind of one thing missing that we saw in this too is this logo, and not getting the recognition right when you open might be something that they want to do.
But that's it.
Yeah.
It's kind of it.
We just thought
And just
some,
like-
maybe some directional things to draw you downwards to. I also thought it was possibly for a murder mystery.
Yeah, I know we also said too, maybe, I guess it's supposed as a surprise, but there was another way that you could show someone that they could RSVP a little bit sooner without having them to scroll over
It was really cool, yeah. And then possibly some language that was, since it's for wine, maybe more upscale like RSVP. And then instead of like share with your friends, invite your friends, that kind of language.
So this was actually an InVision email that they took and remixed, so now we're really impressed with this.
Yeah, for you.
Number two, the before. This is a good step. So when people send us things like this, because we really do get email submissions like this, they're really good emails. They usually reply saying it's not an email, that's a single image. Thank you for that image. Please send me an actual email.
We thought this steps as well. We like the checklist idea from, one of the earlier talks, but they were like a little bit intense.
That's too much running.
Yeah, the two-line CTAs. I've never really have done that many times, so.
And the focus really doesn't end up being the book, which, is the point of the email. There's no CTA saying buy the book or anything like that, so.
Yeah, bummer. So let's see what these two people did. Yeah, so we really like this one, that background.
Yeah, we really like the GIF up there. We thought maybe the GIF could span the full spot, and we thought the running portion of the GIF was like the most engaging piece. So yeah, maybe if that was the cycling on that instead of playing the whole thing. But that what a really cool idea, making it blue and making it sort of hidden. We also thought make the GIF bigger and have it kind of fade out into the blue below, so it looks like hyper integrated.
Yeah, and then there's not like a super clear CTA right here, so maybe like a CTA button here that at least get the book or have some links out to it.
But the book is clearly the highlight of this one, so that's really.
This is a better tool.
We like this. That's much more friendly and that is much more playful. But if it was actually listed out, so you could sort of follow the. When it's spread across like that, you can't really follow the line. I think the joke would be like kind of better if it was really linear.
Yeah, kind of following these steps, kind of copying all the steps. Like
Those are my kind
He's
of
good till
beginning for being running through.
Netflix. I thought that's it. Take a break.
And then I think actually on mobile, it was kind of actually a better email, at least for us. I think we thought that if you maybe styled this text just a little smaller, you get more of the GIF, and going down the email, just a little bit better.
Yeah, really good mobile version on this one.
Yeah, fantastic work. But now, there can only be one winner. Very close. So this is our number one redesigned email before. This is it.
There's a sale.
So this one isn't, the worst email in the world. They do some nice stuff, but I think some of we fell off around like this.
Yeah, it got pretty checkerboard. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do some nice stuff, but kind of following this, even on mobile, was a little tricky, and I kind of just got lost.
And you know, stuff that's consistent, like the CTAs that are sort of stay the same size, or don't do two of the same one, these CTAs next to each other. Those kind of things, I don't know, they just lose a little interest for me.
Yeah, I think the rest of this content, I think they had a good amount of stuff to work with, and, you know, pretty good. So we will show you what the team did to redesign. So why did you guys like this one?
So we like this one. We like the video at the top. It looks really nice. Well, it plays as a video. It's full width, which is giving you that really engaging, draws you in, and then you know right away that it's still the sales happening, but here's what you really get, and it draws you down to the rest of the email.
Yeah, I think.
I mean, I just like them, you know, say that up at the top, it's just kind of like, damn, this is what's up. And then towards the bottom, you know, as you scroll down, it's just a nice list. I don't know, it just looks really, really good. The CTAs at the bottom, side by side, instead of stacked on top of each other. So it's like it's more this. And like she said, it's kind of giving that modern feel because it's 100% width. This feels really nice.
And it's good on mobile.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think we had some trouble finding things that weren't really, that we really made change. I think one of the reasons that, how we picked one of these emails is that we would be comfortable sending this email out.
Yeah.
And that's we felt that this was the closest to being something that we would send and would be, live and actually usable, whatever.
Yeah, the one thing at the very top, I think, this played better. The TrekFest sales seemed like it played better on mobile than it did on desktop, but still, very
So whoever made this email, would you like to come up on stage?
Matt kept this secret from us, so good job, guys. Thank you.
So would you guys mind maybe talking about this process that you guys went through? Please tell us who you are. Yes, please. Who are you? Please tell us who you are.
My name is Ryan Field. I'm from Vancouver, Canada. I work at a chocolate company.
Ooh. I'm Shawnee Nessinger. I work at Target. I'm Ann Tomlin again. Hi. I'm a freelancer with email sale.
Yeah, so I guess I did the top part with the logo, the TrekFest, and the video, which was kind of cool because we were able to just grab a video, a YouTube video straight from their website, from Trek's website, and just use that as we turned it into a GIF, used it as a background image. And I did some of this stuff. Some here.
Yeah, I really like that it was all live text as well.
Yeah.
I relaid out the shop the sale area to make it more wider. First of all, we want the full width look and feel, but also include a little bit more copy to talk about the sale, but also break it down into categories that were more shoppable.
I took the task of, you can see the bottom that was kind of hot garbage. Just making it kind of cleaner and more modern and kind of more in line, because their website's actually not bad. So we wanted to make the email look like something that maybe their website designer designed more modern and clean. Yeah, and the two buttons at the bottom, because button width, that's just
Fantastic. And did you guys pick an email from the site that you used, or no?
No.
Okay.
Well, we were inspired by like National Geographic, like the full with like beautiful imagery as well as like very clean copy that you can kind of feel like it's a little bit of a story, but not too much of a story. It's shoppable.
Yeah, and for the section that I did at the bottom, I looked through the site, and there was a BBC one that kind of had they did a bunch of these kind of arrow. There's a bunch of sections, but I thought that's a good way to say, hey, this is how you do it, and then give your list kind of things.
Very nice. Well, unfortunately, we don't have a big check, but if you find us after, we will. You guys have fantastic job. Thank you guys. All right, cool. Yeah, let me just switch back. You have a screen to go to. Okay, so while he's setting it up, I'm saying thank you. First off, before we do this, again, you guys made this possible. You guys made this possible. You put enough into thinking that we would make this happen that you bought tickets, and which made like, okay, we have to do this thing because we actually sold tickets. That's a good thought experiment. But also, our sponsors really kind of took it over the edge for it. So if it wasn't for Emma and Braves and Atlas Local and us, well, we're not sponsored, Litmus, Iterable, and Influence, you know, this would have still been okay, but it probably would have been amazing. And so they really helped us out. And good job. We're not all sales guys, you know, they actually love email too. So, anyways, we're just gonna say kind of thank you and talk about the kind of experience of what we had today and yesterday. It really meant a lot to us to have you guys all here, and I'm gonna pass off to our Craig.
Fantastic. Yeah, so here in a minute, I'm going to turn this over to you all. And so I'll prime the pump by saying, as I said in my talk, you know, I've gone through a huge transition in my life, and one of the most effective ways of enhancing relationship is through gratitude, right? And being able to think about the things that we're grateful for. So a lot of times, we'll be in a situation and we'll think, all right, what's the feedback? How can we improve? All these different things, and that's good. But one of the best parts of a relationship is being able to talk about what you're thankful for. And so, one of the things I want you to do is to think about somebody who's been here during this time, and it can't be us, because I don't want this to be self-congratulatory. But somebody else who's been here at this time, or somebody else who's in the industry, who's done something for you, or who's meant something to you, and you want to thank them for that, right? So for me, I got really inspired. There's a guy named Will Egan who was here earlier and sitting up front. And after my talk, he came back and wants to work with us on developing a whole new level of detail around triggered, event-driven, very personalized experience emails, 4 really good emails, which is something we've not had the bandwidth to do because we've all got full-time jobs. And I just thought, this is why we do this kind of collaboration, this connection, meaning. And I said, okay, you know, what are you looking for from it? And he's like, what? Just collaboration. You know, it's this magic, right? This is the opportunity. This is why I started this in the beginning. And so I'm not sure where Will is at the very moment, but I'm really thankful that we had that interaction, and I'm thankful everybody showed up here in my city to be part of this. So thank you. Now,
good. Andy, we're all following suit. Yeah. And Jeff left, right? He was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drive 10 hours to Illinois. Yeah. So Jeff met me in the back. He and I had connected earlier, so he was like, hey, can I go smoke on the patio? I was like, no. But anyways, he walked up, and he was like, hey man, yeah, he was like, this has been awesome. You know, I came here, you guys convinced me, I'm gonna go home and quit my job. And I was like, oh crap. And I really just told him straight. I was like, man, I feel responsible now. If there's anything that this community can do, it's be here for each other. And I'm here doing that, that's awesome. I had that moment 9 years ago, and I've had a W-2 since. And I was like, man, I hope I never have a job again. I tell people that all the time. But he came and he had that exact same experience, and I value that super highly. But his ability to say, this is who I am, this is what I want to do. I came here, I rubbed shoulders with a bunch of people that I didn't expect to rub shoulders with. And I'm going to make this big life-altering decision, maybe I'll be asking you for connections for a job in a couple months. So I'm going to do this thing. That was really, really cool to me. And And like, I think if I could say like something that I want to get out of this is like, I keep saying I want this community to land. Like this is the first time we made this community land. I had no idea what you all were gonna look like. I'm the web guy. You tell people like, I just want you to like pull up the website and see what you're doing. Like email, like cool, like look at the website, what's going on in the content. But like having these moments is exactly what I hope this community does. And like Jeff, in Conway, Illinois, I love you, buddy. Come back, like, tweet at us, like, how we can help.
I got one. So I actually almost wanted to show this during one of the talks. Was getting an email from Jason Rodriguez from Lewis, probably like 2013. Allergies. His family cried, so I really want to thank him, because I mean we get emails from you guys all the time thanking us, and I think that really keeps us motivated and working on this stuff. So we're always accessible. So if anyone have a question for us, definitely want to be there for you guys for sure. I mentioned Carl at the beginning, and I should have prefaced what happened. Carl was in a plane accident and he died. He passed away, and so that's why he's not here with us. And there have been so many people who have come and talked to me about Carl who didn't know him, and they just wanted to give their condolences because they saw that it was important to me. And to me, that makes me feel so awesome. Man. What's wrong with this room? We're still on this couch. Last night, someone pulled me aside, and her name was Courtney, and we just started talking, and she shared some really personal experiences about losing people and how email is a drive for her, but friendship is really what it's all about, and that's why she loves email, because it's communication, it's about friendship, it's about personality and trusting people, and that's part of her, what she did, and we had a really good moment, and Courtney had to leave early as well, but anyways, so that, for you guys being here, this means a lot to us, and as you can tell, it means a lot to us, and we really hope that next year we didn't set the bar too high. But we've heard that a lot of people want to do this again next year, so.
So now it's your turn. And instead of passing your mic around and everything, just maybe if everybody can be respectful and quiet, but raise your hand if you'd like to just share it. That could be just even a name. It doesn't have to be the details, and that's okay.
Shawnee's been our supporter from the beginning, so thank you.
Jen Capshaw and all of Women of Email. This is my first email-specific conference. I want to say thank you for making it super fun, having so many women, female representation on stage. You guys were great about that too. But just showing up and already having connections and knowing people who are super supportive of everyone, but also women in the email community. So thank you. You're all fucking badass.
In an extension of that, I've talked to some of you here. I'm the father of 3 daughters, and to see you women kicking so much ass it means a lot to me because, I shared this story yesterday that my oldest daughter got a placemat of the U.S. presidents, and she looked at it and she goes, "Dad, there's no women presidents?" And it just didn't make any sense to her. So I like that my girls are growing up in an era where that's what's noticed, where's the women. And I hope they'll always stay towards the women because they have that in them, but what they need is you girls, you women, the girls like them, the women they're becoming, to keep that up, right? And for us to support not only just women being able to do everything they can, but just pure 100% inclusion, right? It's just the brilliant minds, the ideas that come from the different perspectives, right? It's changed me. I coach girls soccer now, and my whole world has changed just by having that influence on me. And it has nothing, well, I can't say it has nothing to do with the gender, but it's because of them, right? It's not just because they're girls, it's because they're who they are. And that's what you women are here in this room. And I want you guys to remember that and just know that there are a lot of guys behind you and wishing you all the best.
I want to take a second to say thank you to Logan Barrett, who he and I had. He and I had this wonderful conversation over lunch today. We've become friends over years of industry events now, and it's what you guys said. He said something that I thought was really astute. He started to say something about his work, and then he said, you know what? It's all personal. It's all personal, and I think what you guys have touched on is like this community is personal, the empathy, the relationships are personal, what we're building is really personal, and what's special is that we're all invested in it, and I think that's what sets us apart. So I'm appreciative for people like Logan for bringing that to the surface as often as you do.
I have one. Aisha has been Women of Female's most committed volunteer. She kicks ass and she brings us together. She coordinates all of our meetups. There were 30 last year. And thank you for all of your hard work.
I think you guys need a different name. I don't think you should call it a conference. And I know I need to tell my boss I'm coming to a conference. It felt like so much more and less than that at the same time. It felt so much more personable, so much more like I genuinely like you guys. I don't even know you. I mean, at no point did I want to sit in the corner and like work on the other work that I had to do, and it just felt way more. Yeah, than just people sitting up there talking at it. So, that's all.
Thank you. Yes.
I have to give a shout out to Geek Slack.
Oh,
Yes. So without the Slack community, I would not have the job that I have. I got it through a member, and then I would not have all these amazing friends. I would not have learned how to code emails. Like, I have so much to thank for. The Slack
Incidentally, Greenville is like one of the allergy capitals of the United States. Awesome. Carry on. That's awesome. Yes.
I'd just like to thank everyone coming from Vancouver, Canada. I was a little bit initially nervous coming to
I understand.
But everyone, and all the speakers that talked about inclusivity and diversity and bathrooms and all that stuff. And as soon as I heard that, I felt immediately like safe, and I knew I was going to be okay. So I'd like to thank everyone
It's possible. This is good. All right. Who else? Go ahead.
Somebody said earlier to me, because I was naming off all the conferences that I had been to, and they were like, oh, you go to a lot of conferences, and it sounded like I did. I've only been to 3, but I want to thank you guys for, and you specifically, and everybody that was here, because this conference is like no other conference, and I completely agree with what you said. It's not a conference. It's like, you guys have really, I've been doing this for 5 years, and this is the first time that I felt like I am proud to be an email developer. But I started as a software developer, and then when I slid into everything else and then ended up, I felt like I was kind of sliding down, and I'm admitting this to you all, so this is how good I feel about it. But because it's like, oh yeah, you code email, it's like a smaller thing, but it's not. I mean, this is something that touches every single person's life every single day, hundreds of thousands scrolling through, and I feel really, really proud of that. And I can say that because of this conference, this weekend, in this city. I love this city, by the way. And I'm so happy that it was here and not some goofy place in LA or wherever. So,
What's LA?
or Alabama, I guess. Thanks.
Thank you.
I guess I would also like to thank Jen Capstraw, because without her I would know very little about how Female is a community and how beautiful the community really is, and how inclusive and great and wonderful it's been since she's arrived at the role. So, thank you.
I just want to thank really everyone. This whole community means so much to me if it weren't for Jen Capstraw.
So you just want to come up here?
I mean, and everybody in it. Oh, y'all. Thank you guys so much for being who you are and for being our voice and representing every single one of us across the solution. It's very, very special. And to be able to come together like this and like a family, it's like, it's incredible. And you can't find this hardly in any other community. Very, very special. Thank you all.
Okay. You all, that was awesome. That was really special. I didn't know, you never know where vulnerability is going to take us, right? Who's a fan of Brene Brown? Hell yeah. Big, big fan. And if you don't know her work, you should check it out. It will change your life, hopefully. But this is what happens when we get to be human beings instead of competitors only, or instead of just colleagues, right? Matt Cook and I, for a long time, have believed in this idea that there is no work-life balance. There is only life, right? Work is a part of life. It's a continuity of life, and it's something that we do that can have meaning, and it can do that here. So I would encourage you to take this attitude and take this vulnerability with you and give it as a gift to people who are worthy of that gift, right? We don't have to give it to everybody, but it can be really powerful. And thank you for honoring ours. And next year we'll be crying.reallygoodemails.com. We really love you guys. We're thankful. Tonight, go have an awesome dinner downtown. There's some really fantastic restaurants for those of you who are leaving tomorrow. For those of you who are leaving tonight, you only need to be at the airport like 45 minutes before. It's amazing. You're welcome. It's a great city. So I hope you enjoyed our Greenville. We're really proud of it. We're grateful for this community. If you do get a chance, check out Atlas Local. It's a co-working space that Matt Cook and I and our partner Chris started about 10 years ago. These guys now run it on their own, but it's just a fantastic place. You're welcome to move to Greenville and move to the community. We love that. So thank you all. Any other closing statements? All right. Thank you. Have a great night.